Gra. Hold on. Something's missing. Perfect. You know how the Gen Z girlies love to have a nice purse under the arm when performing? Why should I be any different? Just in case I need something while I'm at the mic.
Like my lip balm, my lip liner, my phone, my headphones.
So Cleopatra and Isis. Sorry, I meant Cleo Trappa and Ice Spice. They're fighting. The girls are fighting. They're not cool. Friendship over. We're gonna get into what happened between these two women. So in case you have been living under a rock, Ice Spice is a female rapper who quickly rose to fame after one of her songs became viral. Since then, she has had a song on the Barbie soundtrack. She has collabed several times with Nicki Minaj, and she's even been nominated for a Grammy. Now, Cleo Trappa, she's also a female rapper who, while not as famous as Ice Spice, many would say, including me, the music is better. The part of rapping where you actually have to come up with your own lyrics, like she's talented. She's a talented girl. And she has also gone viral herself through her TikTok videos. She's very funny. As funny as the way this wig feels on my head. So recently, Ice Spice's reputation has come into question, and that's because this other girl she was friends with, who was also a musician, her name is Baby Stormy. Side note, is there an Egyptian god or royalty named Stormy? Because that Isis Cleopatra thing is kind of hilarious. But anyways, so Baby Stormy, basically she got on Twitter, girl, and she started exposing Ice Spice's text messages, and in these text messages it was basically revealed that Ice Spice was using Cleo to be her public BFF when she didn't even really like her for real. Fast forward, after Baby Stormy's tweets had come out, Ice Spice eventually did drop her first album, and you know, the reception to that album has not been great. Okay, the people, they're not feeling you. They're not feeling you, boo-boo. Okay, so what happened was, so Ice Spice calls Cleo. She invites her to come onto the Y2K tour. That's the name of Ice's tour, Y2K. Now, the problem is, big red flag in the beginning of the conversation, because Cleo was like, when does the tour start? And Ice was like, in like 2 days time. So Cleo had like 1 day to prepare for this tour, which is not a lot of time to prepare at all, really. Ice also let Cleo know, hey girl, you're gonna be with me. You don't have to pay for anything on this tour. Remember that detail. So before the tour even starts, it's so many red flags. It feels like it's NASCAR. Basically, on the posters promoting the tour, Cleo's name is not on the posters. The start time for the concert is advertised as 8 p.m. But Cleo's start time to get on stage is like 7:30 p.m. which means Cleo's performing when the girls are walking in to find their seats. And that's the girls who come on time, because you already know, some of us are, you know, so we're a little late. And then Cleo would get excluded from like food related things as well. So there was one instance where the production team was ordering food for everybody, and Cleo was like, can I get a chicken salad? Chicken salad. And they was like, no, you're not in the budget. We're not ordering you a chicken salad. So I don't know, I guess they expected her to eat ice. Not Ice Spice, like literally like cubes of ice. Although depending on where you are, that costs money too. I don't know, girl. You could get some tap water from the bathroom that you're changing in. Oh yeah, did I mention that they had her changing in the public bathroom that everybody was using sometimes instead of changing in like a dressing room? Yeah. There was one point where Ice and the team went to a steakhouse to grab a bite. Steak, mash, corn, spinach.
Steak, mash, cream corn, spinach.
Beans,
beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it!
And they left Cleo, the hairstylist, Ice's hairstylist, and Ice's makeup artist to starve in the middle of nowhere. Cleo also mentioned when she was talking about what happened between her and Ice that she felt like Ice was inviting her out, like strategically inviting her out to public events, and then would the next day drop a song or release something that she wanted everybody to pay attention to. So Cleo already, you know, she was already questioning the way you're questioning this way. She was already questioning what were Ice's intentions in this friendship.
Come to find out.
Well, based on what you just heard, the intentions weren't good. No ma'am, no sir. So, child, hold on, let me switch arms. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so my first thought hearing all this is maybe we need to redefine what a friendship is. Because Cleo was like, I really thought Ice Spice was my friend. She said this, she promised me this. But then when push came to shove, the spice cabinet was empty. It was nothing there but dust, not even not a paprika, not a garlic powder, nothing. There's a pyramid of friendship. There's tiers, there's levels. Obviously you got your besties at the top as associates. Associates ain't even on the pyramid, girl. They're like underneath it. But anyways, Ice Spice, given that Cleo, as she said in her TikTok videos, she was already kind of side-eyeing Ice earlier on because of the stuff Baby Stormy was saying on Twitter in regards to how Ice really felt about Cleo. Are you keeping up with all these names? I hope so. So Ice shouldn't even been on the pyramid at that point. She's in the red zone off to the side. Red like your hair, babes. Red zone. It's a little rectangle. When you're in the red zone of friendship, it means you could get dropped from the team at any moment. Your team jersey could get taken away and burned. You're getting benched for the rest of the season. You're not touching the end zone. You're not even good enough to be the water boy. No sports ball for you. Cleo exposing Ice Spice, I feel like, gave us another example of what it's like to be in the music industry and the sneaky ways that people move. The interesting thing is sometimes people don't want to speak out against those who have done them wrong because they're afraid of the repercussions. They're afraid of the backlash. But it's like because people already didn't like Ice Spice, they were looking for a reason to dislike her even more. Her reputation had already been called into question thanks to Baby Stormy. The music, you know, left a lot to be desired. And, you know, I think a lot of people felt like Ice Spice was taking up a spot that they wanted their faves to occupy. Their faves who, in their eyes, are more talented than Ice. And for that reason, I think Cleo was able to speak out against Ice and have it go in her favor. But if you take someone like Kaytranada, who was recently interviewed, Kaytranada basically revealed that he was asked to do production on Drake's album Honestly Nevermind, but because whoever asked him felt like his reaction was kind of lukewarm, they decided they didn't want to work with him anymore, even though Kaytranada had already agreed to work with him, which is kind of crazy because this was a dance album and Kaytranada, this is what he do that very well. It's really giving self-sabotage from the Drake camp. All right, now I'm gonna switch arms for real now because it's getting okay. What I got in here, bricks? Okay. But more relevant to what I'm talking about today, Kaytranada also talked about Beyonce. So if you didn't know Kaytranada, he made a remix to the song Cuff It, which was on the Renaissance album. And Beyonce's team reached out to Kaytranada to pay him and make the song an official song. But whatever sum of money they were offering him, he wasn't feeling it. So he said, no thanks. He declined. And so Cuff It is not on streaming services. It's not an official remix. What followed this interview was people on the internet taking stuff way too serious because why did I log on? People were just outright lying, just making stuff up. People were saying, oh, you're not even talented. To Kaytranada. You should be lucky Beyonce even knows who you are. I, as a fan of both artists, I gasped. I clutched that big old chain Ice Spice likes to wear. You know the one. I was clutching that chain and I was clutching my actual chains that I personally like to wear. I can tell y'all never listen to his albums anyway, because if you did, you wouldn't be saying that.
How dare you?
Obviously, Beyonce was not desperate for this remix, and neither was Kaytranada desperate for the money or for this to be official. So they went their separate ways. It's just business, y'all. And we don't even know how much she was offering him. Maybe whatever she was offering him is not what you would normally offer someone who just remixed your song. I don't know. What is even the standard rate? We don't have enough information to get mad at either party. We should just all be neutral. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because we see how First of all, Kitron didn't even insult Beyonce. He just was stating facts. He didn't say anything mean about her. Did you hear anything mean? No. He didn't insult her, but because Beyonce's reputation and is so strong and some of her fan base is so crazy in love. Get it? Because that's the name of her first solo single that was really popular and successful. Because of her reputation and her talent, people jump to the defense in a way that's not happening with Ice Spice. My point is this. I'm not equating what Kitron went through with what Cleo went through because it's not the same, but I do think it illustrates the point I'm trying to make, which is that your reputation and your talent can protect you from negative feedback. And because Ice Spice's reputation already was rocky, and the talent, her music, people don't like it. So Ice didn't have that. In pop culture, when people are already experiencing some type of downfall, that's when more negative stories start to come out the woodworks. That's when they get exposed further. And because I think people were already looking for a reason to turn against Ice Spice, that whole like, how do I separate the art from the artist thing, it wasn't really a dilemma anybody was having. Her rise to fame was so quick and meteoric, it was gonna be hard for her to hold on to it anyway, especially given how arrogant her response to Cleo was. Basically, Ice responded by calling Cleo entitled, and then she randomly decided to insult Cleo by telling us that one time her and Cleo went to an Italian restaurant and she ate so much that the server at the restaurant was shook, and she called Cleo a vacuum for eating so much. Like the fat phobia, like, I don't know if she hides it under them wigs, them ginger wigs. It pounced. So that was weird, right? Anybody who was maybe like, oh, there's two sides to every story, once they saw that response, I mean, yes, it wasn't looking good for you. Ice, girl, let's have a chat, all right? Woman to woman, it's like looking in a mirror right now, looking at me. I know. Do you have a PR manager? And did you put your phone on Do Not Disturb when you were responding to what Cleo said? And the response subsequently buried you even deeper into a hole than you were already buried? Did that sentence even make sense? I don't know. Maybe I should use a metaphor you would understand. It's like if you took your career and you flushed it down a toilet like you would poop. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what came over me. I feel like given Ice's very fast rise to fame, I would be concerned with how to maintain that, because as quickly as it comes is as quickly as it slips through your fingers. Not taking accountability when you've done wrong is not a good look. And I feel like if Ice was on her Zoom, she could have probably, I don't know if she wouldn't have been able to completely turn this around. And it's just a lot of allegations, there's a lot of stories, a lot of tweets we saw, a lot of text message screenshots we saw, so it was not looking good for you. But I'm just saying, you know, you could have turned this around with the apology a little bit. You know, I mean, I'm not saying it would have been a 180-degree turn. It probably would have been a 45-degree turn. I don't know. You was just in high school, so I know geometry is probably a little more fresh in your mind. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a nice little, you know what? Hey y'all, it's your girl Ice. This was my first tour. I learned a lot, and I want to apologize to Cleo because I should have been more clear with my production team that Cleo needed to be included in the budget so that she could have ordered a chicken salad. And, you know, I shouldn't have let my anger prevent me from inviting her to that steakhouse dinner instead of letting her and two members of my own team who do my makeup and hair. Girl, are you crazy? Why would you starve the people doing your makeup and hair? Do you want to look crazy on the stage? Sorry. I should have not let them starve in the hotel in the middle of nowhere. Okay, maybe we couldn't have turned this around. All right, so never mind. Maybe that's why your PR person couldn't stop you, because they didn't know what to do either, child. I think it was probably like, it's too late. But you know what? I also want to acknowledge the manager. Ice Spice's manager responded and was like, he also called Cleo entitled, and he also was like, I spoke to Cleo's manager, and Cleo's manager doesn't understand why Cleo acted like that because this, then, the third. I'll put the tweet on the screen. And right there let me know that the manager also does not have a good attitude. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Do you think Ice is gonna be able to turn this around? What angle? 45 degree? 90? Definitely not 180. Do you think she'll be able to keep a hold on the fans that she has? Or do you think it's over for her and she needs to go ahead and make sure that savings account is looking real thick? Make sure that savings account has been eating its oats. You know what I'm saying? Personally think, and I said this before her album came out, she should have gotten a ghostwriter. I'm sorry. There's no shame in the game. Get another producer on the payroll. Riot, maybe he need to quiet down, all right? And stop being such a riot. You know what I mean? Some of his production is good, but some of his production, I don't know. Did he produce that Give Me a Light song? You know the song where she was yelling? And it was the Sean Paul sample? Oh, that was horrible. Did he do that? I don't know. I gotta look it up. What else should she do? Stop using dark-skinned black women. Maybe. Reassess why you're fatphobic. Maybe let's talk through accountability. Let's talk through what it means to be a friend. Let's, you know, I just think there's a lot that needs to go on here. She's not stupid. Okay? Get it together. Please, I don't want to see you having any more beef, especially with people who have Egyptian sounding names. Okay? Because that's crazy. Once is a coincidence, twice is crazy. Girl, this wig is itchy!